everybody, and welcome back to Cask and Points. Today we're going to be blinding every single Stagg Jr from 2024. Now, I had done a review back in December where I thought I had reviewed all of the Stagg Jr batches of 2024. We had 24A, 24B, 24C, and while C was still good, 24A and B were just the clear two favorites, and I ultimately ended up deciding that I like 24A the most, although over time, B is just also really good, so they're a very close contest. However, in mid-December, after I had posted that review, I saw the first ever post of Stagg Jr 24D, that they actually released the first ever D batch in Stagg Jr history, and if we go a little bit back into the history, obviously this started in 2013 in the fall. They did 2 releases every single year up through 2022. 2022 got really weird because they ended up releasing 22B before 22A. They ended up having batch 18 and switching the number system all at the exact same time. And so it was a little bit of a mess, and I'll put it on your screen right now when the releases actually released. But because it's been a little bit of a mess, Stagg has been trying to, but because it's been kind of a mess, Buffalo Trace has been trying to make it more normal, but for some reason they decided to push out 3 batches in 2023, which is already more than the 2 batches that had been typical in every year before that, but they actually decided to release a 4th batch in 2024, and this 4th batch came in mid-December. And so all of the reviews, like the one that I had done where we had the best Stagg Jr of the year, were totally invalid, and we had to go back to the drawing board and do this again. And so I finally collected all the samples together, and we're going to do that blind here today. We're going to blind 24A, B, C, and D, but of course there is a 5th glass here. I've heard rumors that 24D is incredible, that it may be the best batch since batch 12, which is 132.3 proof and an absolute legend in the Stagg Jr community, well regarded as the greatest Stagg Jr of all time. And so I threw in a sample of Stagg Jr batch 12. So those are the 5 we have. We have the 4 from 2024. We have Stagg Jr batch 12. Let's find out really what the best Stagg Jr of 2024 is, and if any of these are actually competing with the greatest of all time. So let's get right into glass number 1. This one smells like Stagg Jr. This one is very grapey. It's definitely pretty hot on the nose. Some caramel, some oak. Really getting a lot of grape out of this one though. Not really a cherry forward Stagg. It's good. It's really hot and really rich oak. Let's take a sip. It's good. It's good. It's grape candy. Very solid on the palate here. Now, because I've had a few of these batches many times, I think I know what a lot of this stuff is, and so I might give some predictions before we do the reveal. But for now, I'll just say I think this is a very grape forward Stagg, maybe more like a berry forward Stagg. There's definitely some vanilla in there. There's definitely some oak in there. This isn't particularly cherry forward at all. Really getting those darker fruits, getting more of the grape than the cherry. Solid though. Solid. Very good. Let's take a second sip. Good. Good. Very honest Stagg. I think that is a very average batch of Stagg. Maybe even slightly above average. I've had all of the batches of Stagg at this point, all the way back to batch 1. And to me, I would probably rank that like 12th. Like of the 25-ish that we've had, I think that's a very honest like 12th, 13th place. I don't think it's anything particularly special, but I don't think it's bad at all. Definitely not in the bottom half of all Staggs of all time. Let's go on to glass number 2. Oh, this one on the nose is very sweet, like a cherry candy, caramel candy on this. Oh, that's nice. Wow. Now, I am always curious about what people think about the secondary market on Stagg Jr. On the national secondary markets, I know the prices are around $150 for a newer batch at this point, which honestly, for the caliber of Stagg Jr., I've never really taken a big issue with. I know MSRP is $60, and I know a lot of people really believe that they should only ever pay the suggested retail price on a bottle, but as somebody that believes that that suggested retail price on like 90% of bourbons in the market is way higher than it should be, I've never really respected MSRP all that much. So I don't know, I think if you find Stagg Jr. for $100 in a store, I mean, that's just a buy to me. Even at $120, that's a buy. Over $150, I can see a debate, but this stuff is good. Like, this stuff is better than a $60 bottle, and I'm really surprised that Sazerac has been increasing the MSRPs on everything, but they don't want to increase the MSRP on Stagg. Not complaining, though. Very happy with it. Let's take a sip. Oh, wow. That's so rich. That is a much older oak taste to it. Very refined. Really cherry candy forward. Really like, I mean, honestly, candy in a glass on this one. Really sweet. Now, I've also debated a lot between the grape flavors and the cherry flavors. I tend to prefer cherry on my Stags. This is the cherry. Like, this is that really sweet cherry candy bomb on this. It's honestly like a slightly softer, good George T. Stagg. And I say good George T. Stagg because the profile on this is much better than I think some George T. Staggs in the last few years. 2019 and 2023 come to mind as really my least two favorite. To me, this isn't drinking like that 135 proof GTS, but it's really giving you some really nice flavor here. And it smells older, and it smells more refined, and it tastes more refined than I think the last sample. Let's take a second sip. That's awesome. I mean, that's just so good. It's not super punchy. I actually do think that first glass may have had a little bit more punch to it, but this one just brings the sweetness, brings the vanilla, brings the cherry. Wow, that is nice. And it still has a nice oak backbone to it all, really rich, like older, dusty oak almost to it. That's great. That is really, really good. I think I might know what that one is, but let's go on to glass number 3. Oh, you know what? The nose on this one is also really nice. This one is that really nice aged oak as well, but also a good amount of vanilla. Not a ton of fruit on this. Is a little bit of berry on this, but really not a ton. A little bit of cola on this one. I know a lot of people get cola on their Stagg Juniors. I've never been a big cola note guy, but this is nice. Okay, let's take a sip. Oh, that's actually interesting. So it's actually pretty mellow, similar to glass number 2 here. Not having that punch, that real Stagg fieriness of glass number 1. Let's take a sip. Wow, that's really nice. So getting a lot of grapey notes in there, those berry notes in there. The aged oak in this one is also really nice. Much more akin to glass number 2 with that flavor profile than glass number 1, where I think it has a really nice refined aged oak to it. I think glass 1 had that Stagg fieriness. I think it had that Stagg punch to it. I think 2 and 3 a little bit more mellow. Now, Stagg Jr. is very consistent in proof. So I think everything on here is between about 127 and 132 proof. So relatively similar in proof, but this glass 2 and 3 drinking much lower than glass number 1 was. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, there's a lot of flavor on this, so I'm very satisfied with this pour. That's really nice. Actually, glass 2 is really good, but glass 3 is definitely respectable, even in the context of glass 2. Now, let's take another sip here. Oh, I really like that. Wow. The grape on it, definitely more similar to glass number 1, but that refined aged oak and the vanilla, and it being a bit more mellow, very akin to glass number 2. That's interesting. Let's go on to glass number 4. That's good too. Wow. Okay, so this one is definitely a lot of vanilla. Definitely some maple on this one. A bit of cherry on this one. A little bit of grapes. Actually, a little bit of both on here. Let's take a sip. Oh, wow. Less refined than glass 2 and 3. I think this one is punchy like glass 1, but I don't know if I like the flavor profile more. This one to me is honestly just pretty straightforward caramel on the palate. Like, I'm really trying to dig here for fruit. I'm not really finding a lot of fruit on this. It's not a bad pour by any means, but caramel and oak is much less pleasant to me than a really rich vanilla and cherry and caramel and spice and oak and all these things. And to me, this is just caramel and oak. And there's definitely a little bit of spice in here, those baking spices, you know, your nutmeg, your cinnamon, stuff like that. This is primarily a caramel and oak bomb. That's fine. Yeah, that's interesting because it's taking a lot of the bad elements of the first 3 glasses and combining them together. So there isn't a ton of flavor on this one. There is kind of that roughness around the edges that I kind of got on glass 1 that honestly glass 2 and 3 did really, really well on, tasting really older than 6, 7, 8 years old. Could even be 10 or 12 year bourbons in my eyes. Whereas I think this one definitely tastes younger, and it's a much more simple flavor profile. It's just the caramel. It's not really giving me a ton of the fruity notes. I don't like that one. I think that's definitely my least favorite of the 4 so far. But let's go on to glass number 5. Oh, that's nice. That's a lot of vanilla, a good amount of honey on that one, some oak on that one. That's good. That's good. It's kind of in between glasses 2 and 3 and then 1 and 4. I think it's not as rough around the edges as 1 and 4 were. I think this is like a really nice like honey bomb on it. It's very sweet. It's not particularly fruity, but like that really nice vanilla on it. And there's still definitely a little bit of cherry. So that's a really nice one. Oh, wow. Okay, let's take a second sip. Okay, I like that a lot. I like that a lot. That one to me, definitely better than 1 and 4. I don't think I like it as much as 2 and 3, but it's giving me the red fruit in there, the honey in there, the vanilla on there. It's definitely a sweeter end, and it doesn't have like the really rich dark berries that I think I was getting out of some of the earlier pours, but the cherry on there is nice, and the vanilla and honey are really nice as well. Okay, so I think 1 and 4 are the worst going through all this, so let's go through those first. We'll go back to 5, we'll go back to 2 and 3. So let's start here with glass number 1. Okay, it's still pretty hot on the nose, even after all this time. Now, I usually have things sit for about 20-25 minutes before I record videos, because it wouldn't be fair to just do real fresh neck pours, because it just wouldn't really be fair to the whiskey to not give it that kind of time. And so any heat at this point is just ethanol heat. It's just an unrefined nose. It is not really some issue with not giving the whiskey enough time to air out. Like it's aired out plenty. And I also constantly swirl these glasses, so yeah, there's still a little bit of heat on this. Let's take a sip. Oh, that is nice though. Oh wow. Okay, it actually might be closer to 5 than I thought. Very dark berry forward. It's punchy, and I don't hate the punch. I like Stagg Punch. I mean, there's a reason why you drink Stagg Jr. and not 100 proof or 110 proof whiskey. I mean, you come to Stagg Jr. for that really nice, rough around the edges, punchy, younger brother to the great George T. Stagg. Wow, it's just crazy to me that some people can really compare a lot of even modern Stagg Juniors to George T. Stagg. George T. Stagg is a clear winner across this entire board, I think. At least for the better batches. The worst batches, maybe there's a little bit more of a discussion. But this is good. I'm going to rate this an 8.1. I think it's very solid. I think it's an honest pour of Stagg Jr. I don't really have any great issues with that one. I wish it was a little bit more refined in the oak, but I still think it's very good. Let's go on to glass number 4. It's just simple. It's just caramel. I mean, there's really just caramel on that. Let's take a sip. No, that one is not for me. I mean, it's getting spicier over time. So I'm really getting that cinnamon, but I'm also getting like herbal notes to it towards the real late palate. Like I'm starting to really open up to a little bit of clove on that, which I just don't really care for relative to what I'm getting out of a lot of the good Stagg Juniorness of a lot of these other pours. This is my least favorite, and it's not even close. I mean, I'm going to rate that a 7.7, but it's still very good. Like relative to the market at large, like at MSRP, I'd buy the heck out of that bottle. I'd buy 3 of that bottle at $60. But if I'm paying $120, I would debate it a lot more. I think I'd really prefer a lot of the other glasses here. Let's go on to glass number 5. Okay, this one's interesting. Definitely a little bit sweeter. Just getting sweeter and sweeter. But glass number 1 brings those berries. Glass number 1 brings the honey. And that honey is really nice. Let's take a sip. I mean, wow. I could go either way on that whiskey. It's definitely much closer to glass number 1. I'm going to rate an 8.1 as well. I'm going to say today, I think it's very even. I will place it slightly under, but I think like really day to day, I mean, these are very, very even pours to me. I think if I went to the 100th decimal place and gave the numbers, they may even still get the exact same number or like be 100th off. Like it's that close. Really, really good pours. But there's always a winner here. I mean, we don't call ties here at Cask and Point. So that's the bottom 3, I think. Let's go on to glass 3 and glass 2. Man, just refined. Where if we go back to glass number 1 here, it smells much less refined. It smells cheaper. I mean, that glass number 3 is nice. I'm really curious what glass number 3 is. Let's take a sip. Oh, wow. That's just rich. It's really similar in flavor profile, actually, to glass number 1. Now that I go back to it. Like, it's very berry forward. But the oak on it, more well refined. That's really good. I'm going to rate that 8.2. It's not that much better than glass number 1 and glass number 5. But it's definitely better. Let's go back to glass number 2. Oh, it has that aged oak, but it also has the cherry. I love the cherry. And it also has the sweetness on it. That's just such a well-rounded pour. Let's take a sip. Wow. Wow, that's good. I'm going to rate that 8.3. I don't think it's that much better than everything else on this flight. It's clearly better than everything else on this flight. But that's interesting. So we have glass number 4 here and last at a 7.7. We have glass number 5 here at an 8.1, glass number 1 here at 8.1, then glass number 3 at an 8.2, and then glass number 2 at an 8.3. So not super far off for that top 4. I think this glass number 4 was just bad. But let's find out what we're having. Now, I will give some predictions here because I have had a lot of these whiskeys. So I'm just going to go ahead and say, I think this is 24C. I think this is 24B. I think this is 24A. I think this first one is batch 12, and I haven't had 24D yet. So that would make this one batch D, which would mean it's a really good batch for 2024 and the winner of 2024. But let's find out. So I did place the numbers at the bottom of the glasses, so we just have to look at the bottom of the glass. So let's check the worst glass here first. That is glass C. Okay, so that's 2024C. Totally understandable. It's just not competing with these other glasses. Let's go on to glass number 5. So in 4th place here, we have glass A. Okay, so far we're 2 for 2, but we'll see how we do on this top 3 here. This is going to get interesting. So glass number 1 here is B. Wow, okay. My predictions were pretty good. I love doing blinds, but if you've had the whiskeys a couple times, blinds just, I don't know, maybe they're not that useful. But let's see, did batch D, which apparently won this flight, did it actually beat batch 12? Glass number 3 here is D. Okay, so glass number 2 here is going to be batch 12. Okay, so we predicted this absolutely perfectly, which is kind of fun. But yeah, this is good. I mean, okay, so batch C here, the worst place, it's not bad. It's still a very solid pour. I think $80, $100, totally reasonable. I just wouldn't pay that much more than that for this, especially when literally every other batch is better. So I think it's definitely below average batch. I still think it's better than like the 23C, the 22B, the 23B, which are probably my 3 least favorite Stagg Juniors of all time. I think 24C is better than that. It's not that much better than that. I think A and B as what happened last time. And I've done this blind a few times, and it consistently flips. You have a honey, you have a vanilla, you have some cherry. You have that on batch A. On batch B, you have the darker berries. It's hotter, it's punchier. I can see why people could pick one over the other. I think more consistently people pick B. I kind of get that too. I can see why people really like that punch, really like the darker fruit. I actually think it's very akin to like Russell's 15 with those dark berries, so I kind of get it. D is good though. I mean, good for batch D. Absolutely killed it. Really refined oak here. I can see why people are saying that this is the best batch since batch 12. I don't think that's true. I think I would still take 22A and 17 over it. But I think it's up there. I think like batch 18 and this batch and batch 14 are going to be probably my top 5 since batch 12. And so of about 15 batches, I think this is in the top 5 of the last 15. And we might have to blind it against those other batches to see what really the best batches of all time. But that's respectable. Good for Stagg Jr. 24D here. That's delicious. But batch 12, we all know. Oh, that's really good. But batch 12 is the king. Can't dethrone batch 12. But wow, it's still really, really good. Yeah, I mean, it's just more cherry forward. But honestly, they're not that far off. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope you all learned something about Stagg Jr. Let me know down below in the comments what your favorite Stagg Jr. batches is. And with that, I hope you all have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.